talking about
It's
how
just color around us,
like they were talking about milk. And I was like, okay, like everyone knows what milk is, and like I like the raspberry one the best.
which one's that?
It was like the raspberry black.
Yeah.
Like I am like I'm red raspberries stirred into blackberries. I was like, oh, I was like that's a cool way to think about it. I like imagine like that like gonna make me really hungry,
It's
but
very,
other
like,
than that,
Vivid language,
yeah, I liked that part.
rich and I don't know, I like that this author just describes various skin tones, not just black.
Mhm.
Like there's different shades, and like
Yeah.
it gets at that like describing groups not as a whole and being
Mhm.
all identical, but rather that there's individuals within that group.
Yeah, kind of like going back to that girl whose skin was lighter, but she still was proud that she had that blood in her, you
Mhm.
know? Like, I think that's really important, like you're just saying, to have that much representation of different skin tones, because, like, not all kids are gonna, like, not all African-American children are gonna have the same tone to their skin, you know? Like, and they might see, like, a lot of the representation of African-Americans in books and be like, my skin's not that color. That person doesn't look a lot like me, or you know, just so I really appreciated how many different types. They're like, yeah, we have all these different tones to our skin, but we're still all like we can still all relate and be proud of it, you know. I thought that was really
I
cool.
think like bringing in like the other side, there's different tones, kind of hints toward like we're the ones who kind of choose how we identify too.
Yeah.
Like others might influence you, but like you're really the one who ultimately chooses how you identify.
That's a great point. Yeah. Like, yeah, because like sometimes someone will relate more with one culture of their family than another, or, and I think it's nice to kind of give kids that option too, you know. It's interesting.
What did you think about the Bachito text in relation to that music video? The one.
I'm sorry, I was having a little bit of trouble getting the video to
Oh, it's
go.
okay.
I'm sorry.
The lyrics are, all you folks think you own my life, but you never made me a sacrifice. Demons, they are on my trail. I'm standing at the crossroads of hell. I look to the left, I look to the right. Their hands that grab me on every side. All you folks think I got my price, at which I'll sell all that is mine. You think money rules when all else fails. Go sell your soul and keep your shell. I'm trying to protect what I keep inside, all the reasons why I live my life. Some say the devil be a mystical thing. I say the devil he a walking man. He a fool, he a liar, conjurer and a thief. He try to tell you what you want, try to tell you what you need.
Ooh.
Angry.
Yeah. Powerful.
It was just like a different kind of side. I don't know, that was really like, I don't know, I wouldn't read that with children.
No,
No.
like, what are you talking about, devil? What? I'm scared.
Yeah, I think it gives a good insider of what it actually feels like, where this is kind of more like,
What happened?
Yeah.
I feel like that one's a little bit more personal
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
less relatable to students.
Definitely. That's like a very like, I don't want to say depressing, but like a very more darker kind of
Yeah.
emotion behind it, where this has kind of that more uplifting tone behind it, I guess.
Yeah, like I can almost think of that poem in regards to the father character in the book. About like how, like when he found out that his wife was going to be sold, and how he was having to like keep it all together for his family, and it was like instead of just letting them, like instead of telling them all at the beginning of dinner, he's like, okay, we're just gonna enjoy our last meal together. And so like I bet, like we can't really see him, like they don't really have him like yelling, or they're like there was no scene of him going outside and like getting upset, but you can tell that was probably like in his heart, you know, like so I think like kind of understanding that perspective in the poem can relate to like the anger and like anger of the character in the book, you know.
And the language in that poem, or that song, very like powerful, and I don't know, the line that was like, "Sell your soul and keep your shell."
Oh,
That
yeah.
one like just really stood with me. Like basically calling these people soulless, which to me I think they were for just selling other people.
Yeah.
So
I was just
I
kind
don't
of
know.
cringing a little bit as I read it. I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
they're not doing this. Please say they're not. God, you know. But yeah, and just also I thought something interesting in the book, a little unrelated, but like what the part about them like, okay, just walk slow, like don't walk too fast, head down, you're invisible kind of thing. I was just like, wow, that these people can just walk around and be like just invisible to this other group. I that part just kind of stuck out to me. It's just kind of powerful, you know, that like, wow, that someone can just be invisible like that. But then I was like, okay, that's not quite gone today, you know. There's still people who are invisible to us. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, that kind of bothered me that they thought that way. But I mean, it helped them get to where they needed to be.
True. Yeah. But then they weren't invisible to the they weren't invisible to Martha Tom and her family. Wait, is Martha Tom? Am I saying her name? Okay, good. I got the character name right. But yeah, like they definitely weren't invisible to each other, you know. So.
I feel like
Yeah.
they're probably because they faced some of the same struggles too.
Mhm.
The Seeing Color article.
Yeah, there's actually a thing in there I wanted to talk about that I was trying to talk about with my roommate last night, and we couldn't really come up with a full answer. It's just like this one question that was posed about the little girl, like who's like to her African American friend. She's like, oh, I don't know if it was a little girl, but she's like, you remind me of chocolate pudding, and they're like, I was like,
I
okay.
wouldn't know how to respond to that.
Right, yeah, it's like, the way I kind of summed it up was like, okay, she didn't mean it as an insult, but it could be offensive.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, it's like, because it's just a child, and they don't really know that could be offensive, and they're just making an observation.
Just words and.
Yeah, it's like, her skin is browner, so it would remind her maybe of chocolate pudding, but just like, I think the important thing there was just to like, be like, okay, maybe just be careful with your observations. It's like, how do you approach that with a child who thinks that it's just an innocent comment?
Mm-hmm.
That part really stuck out to me. I was like, whoa, how do you deal with that?
Yeah. I think there are a lot of really important points.
It was facing your
I
laptop.
felt like it was staring at me.
No, it was admiring the nice case on your laptop.
I just feel like there are a lot of important points in this about how students should be able to talk about race and everything because that's who they are. Like they should be able to talk about their cultures and everything.
Yeah, like not being colorblind, you know, like.
See where you put it all. Okay. I never know where to put things. Okay, sorry, keep going.
But I was kind of left with the impression that this article might be a little outdated.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
It just seems like they're writing from a time where like cultures weren't included within the classroom, which I feel like for several years now they have been.
Mm-hmm. They've been putting more effort into it, like slowly but surely, you know.
Yeah. I was gonna look up when it was written, but I didn't get a chance to. I don't know. I was just left with that impression.
Yeah, I can kind of get
It's still a good article, but.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How long have we been talking for? 40 minutes.
Yeah.
I just have to return it before 1:30.
Yeah.
What about the unpacking the invisible notes?
Oh, that was interesting. I was like, I felt my little, like, you know, activist person coming out there. I was like, oh man, this is so true.
I've read it a few times now, and every time I read it, I find that I pick up something new each time.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, like, I don't know, like this time I kind of picked up on, like, it's not just about white privilege, but it's kind of hinting at, like, you should think about all aspects of your life.
Yeah.
And how you earn privilege in different ways.
Those rules that you, like I was reading through, like all the different like rules, like white
power.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like
I was like, oh my
she-
gosh.
her neighbor will be nice to her and
yeah.
things like that.
Man, there's so
My
many in that
goodness.
list.
Mm-hmm.
This is oh my gosh, like
I was like, hopefully that's not all me.
Yeah.
Like, there's things I don't think about.
there's one, yeah, like number 46. I can choose blemish cover or bandages in flesh color and have them more or less match my skin.
I never thought of that.
Right? Yeah, that's so
That's
interesting.
one that stood out to me too.
And then something interesting too, my roommate is African American, and so we were at the gym, right? And she was putting on deodorant and it's like, they never make it for my skin color. It's always this weird white smears. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so true. Like, and she was like, okay, I'm gonna use my business degree. I'm gonna make a company for this kind of deodorant. I was like, you go, girl. I was just like, wow, yeah, it's like, you don't even
realize.
yeah, you don't think about that with white privilege, but like, yeah, it's kind of made for lighter skin tones. It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I never would have thought about
It
it.
kind of makes you think about like how those privileges you may have affect those around you
Mm-hmm.
and people of other cultures and everything.
And, yeah, there's another one that I really thought was interesting. Was like, I won't be asked to be a speaker and be a representative of my race.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, wow, I've never really thought about that, but that's interesting. And like in the article, the Seeing Color one, like the little boy, oh gosh, what was his name? Well, the little African American boy who was with the group of troublemakers, and he was always the one singled out.
Mm.
I was just, wow, yeah, it's like, because he just looked different, so,
Yeah.
this was a very,
I couldn't imagine ever picking a Band-Aid that didn't fit my skin
yeah.
color, deodorant that was white. I don't know.
I know
They make them clear gel, but it's
it'll still show up,
yeah,
That's just something I never thought of.
I know. I should be more aware of these things, when I'm buying
Mm-hmm.
or purchasing things.
I guess
It's
that's
just you don't think about
I mean,
it.
if you buy
Oh, no,
foundation, you're like,
Mhm.
oh, that one's just slightly too dark or too light.
Yeah.
You never think about if it's, I don't know, that's just strange to...
Mhm.
it's like, I think they're making more, variety of, concealers and stuff like that for different skin tones, but it's it definitely has not always been that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's it's just something you don't really think about, but you're like, wow, yeah.
I think I'll be more aware.
Yeah.
Me too.
Definitely.
Are we evaluation?
We kind of went through a little bit of evaluation
Yeah.
when we were reading it, but if you have anything to
Um,
add. I liked the books, and I think I would use them in my classroom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just because, they're poems. Sometimes you get tired of reading novels, and it's oh, cool. I can pick up a book, and it can still be educational, but just in a different style of writing.
Yeah.
Which, I talked about. Because usually, when you go into classes, you just see, all the books on the shelves, and, they're usually just straight up novels. But I think that, this could kind of, activate reading through a different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Sometimes poetry engages your imagination more.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not always so clear
It's
cut.
visual.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good point.
Similes, I think, work really well. They can be kind of silly when you're learning.
Yeah, or metaphors. And,
Yeah. I liked them.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of our readings this week were just really thought-provoking.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes me want to,
Definitely.
do you guys ever, think about what you're going to do in your class?
Yeah.
Every day, you do calendar, you do this. It makes me think about, every day I want to read, a poem.
Yeah.
What you're talking about, it's just nice to sometimes listen to a poem.
Yeah, just throw it out there. Just
creative writing, I'm going to redo this poem. Draw a picture of what you think it could be.
yeah.
There's little things like that I want to put in.
I think also in one of the, I think it was in this one, the tunnel. What's his face book?
Yeah.
One of the teachers in it was just would just go up on the board every day, just write a poem, just leave it there. and just have kids just,
Have something on your mind.
yeah, just
I
be
had
part
a
of the
teacher
day.
who would write a quote a day.
Yeah,
That's
going
neat.
back to my third grade teacher again, I remember she did the coolest thing. Like every day she'd have a quote up on the board, right? And she'd always put it like on the weekly newsletter and stuff like that. But one day, like I think I said something in class about art and she really liked it, so she put my quote up on the board. And from then on, and like that got put in the newsletter and it just made me feel so special.
Aw.
And like then other kids started being able to put their quotes up. I still remember that quote. I think it was like, everyone's an artist just in different ways.
Aw.
I was a profound little third grader. But yeah, and just like having those quotes and poems up all the time and just not really having like a big purpose for them, but maybe the purpose is that there doesn't need to be a purpose to the poem.
I think that brings up, I don't know, like kids will surprise you what they say.
Oh, I know,
Sorry, I
right?
thought someone was coming in, but it's
Like, no, it's our room. We have it
Like-
for 20 more minutes.
kids really can say some pretty profound and like impressive things.
Oh, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like even in the beginning of one of our readings, like when the little kid called out, like, why are you talking like a white person? You know, like,
Yeah.
just
That-
like pointing out
yeah.
that point. It, like, I feel like so many times, like, we kind of have that misconception that, you know, oh, kids haven't learned as much, so they don't really know a whole lot, and we can't really take what they say seriously, but they know what's going on. I think they...
Oh, definitely.
I think poems would be a really good idea to teach your students how to let out emotion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, you always talk about those teachers that, like, if you're frustrated, you need to take a couple deep breaths, like, go for a lap, like, do what you need to do. And, like, you teach how to, like, self-regulate. But I think maybe, like, sitting down and, like, thinking about the words you want to use in
Yeah.
a poem, I don't know, like, it would be hard for me to, like, calm down, like, if I was so frustrated, but, like, if I had to, like, think about the words that I could use
Yeah.
to describe how I'm feeling.
Yeah, there's something kind of permanent about writing it on a piece of paper.
Especially for kids who are, like, writers and
Mhm.
who, like, are really good with that.
Yeah,
I
and
think
like,
that's the writer's notebook stuff
Yeah.
that we talk about too.
Yeah.
Where they're able to write what they're
Mhm.
feeling.